Good evening, friends. Good evening. Good evening once again, and I'll try to ensure that I don't bore you, try to keep this as simple as possible, and try to show you a great opportunity emerging for all of us as stakeholders in this business. How I came up to deciding that I should do this topic this evening was actually incidental. 2 days back, I was confused that what do I do? And then I called up around 8, 9 o'clock to Vyas. And Vyas sent me a list of 100 items, 100 topics, right? And all those topics were looking like Latin and Greek to me because it was something to do with financial planning, wealth management, IT, digital, everything and anything to do with wealth management. And I was like getting nervous. I said, I don't know all of these things because this is not something what I do on a daily basis, right? So, so then Deepak called me in the night at 10 o'clock. He said, कि आपको जो अच्छा लगे आप करो, right? So then I thought that I'll do something what I understand better, right? Like Buffett said that when you buy a business which you understand. So when you're doing a presentation, you do a presentation which you understand. Like Padmanabhan sir has done a presentation which is close to his heart. And honestly, he's a great communicator because if you're on social media, it's very difficult to miss him and his data points and his insights. I think it's amazing. So I completely agree with all the previous speakers and the last speaker, Padmanabhan, making 1,000 crores for yourself, making 1,000 crores AUM for your business or 2,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, all this is possible. I've spent 25 years in this industry from 1999, started with Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. When Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund AUM itself used to be 1,000 crores. Today it is, I think, 4 lakh crores or something. I joined Motilal Oswal AMC 11 years back. We were 500 crores of AUM. Today we are 60,000 crores of AUM. Our aspiration is to become 5 lakh crores by 2030. So that is our aspiration. So that way all of you as mutual fund distributors, RIAs, I'm sure you will have large aspirations. And this country is throwing phenomenal opportunities to achieve those milestones, those kind of numbers. It's very much possible. 10 years back, the total mutual fund or total mutual fund equity AUM, just the equity, because we are in the business of equities, my organization, so I track equity numbers more closely than the debt numbers, fortunately, because that creates a lot of wealth. Just 10 years back, 2013, 1st April 2013, MF equity AUM was how much? Any guesses? If we have some mentors, we can give mentors as a gift. Huh? 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 1 lakh. Who said? 1 lakh. So we need to give him a mentors, yeah? 1 lakh crore was the AUM of mutual fund equities. Equity mutual fund AUM was only 1 lakh crore. I can guarantee you 10 years back, nobody would have thought that 10 years hence, we would be 22 lakh crores. Right? 20 times the equity AUM has gone up. That is what has happened in the last 10 years, and last 10 years has not been the best of the 10 years. Right? 2013, we were in a taper tantrum. Markets were very bad. Then 2014, we got the change in the government. There was some optimism, but then there was a lot of disruptive reforms. We had the demonetization, we had the GST, we had the IBC, we had the RERA, we had the ILFS crisis, one after one after one, and then we had the mother of all crises, which was the COVID crisis. Last 10 years, I would say that the 6 out of 10 years have been bad years, and 4 out of 10 years have been good years. And in those 4 good years, is what has led 1 lakh crore to become 22 lakh crores. That's the power of compounding. That's the power of raised to power T in that formula of compounding, right? So next 1 year, next 2 year, our NFO is going on small cap fund. The only question which keeps coming to me is that it's very expensive. It has given 40-50% return. What will happen? It's very expensive. It will go down. What do we do? Because all we try to do is think about here and now. We think about what is going to happen in next 1 year and what has happened in the last 1 year. We start with the data points, what happened last 1 year, and then we try to extrapolate that for next 1 year. And in that kind of a thought process, we miss the long-term opportunity. I'll tell you another thing. When in 2021, early 2021, how much time I have? Because I tend to underperform on my time. We try to outperform on our funds, but I underperform on time. So I take more time. Okay. Because I have 36 slides to show to you, and whether I'll reach there or not, I don't know. So, but I'll share some interesting thoughts. So 2021, just after COVID, just maybe 9 or 10 months after COVID, markets hit 50,000 Sensex, if you all remember. And this was, I think, Feb or March of 2021, 50,000. And Ramdoji told me that you do a big digital show. That time it was all about digital. These rooms were not available. You call all the investors of MOAMC, MOFSL, broking, distribution, all distributors. So we ended up doing a big show on YouTube. And he said there's a big surprise. And the surprise was that the headline of his presentation was that next 10 years, 50,000 will be 200,000. थोड़ा हंस लो, ताली बजा लो, खुश हो जाओ. मतलब इतना लाइफ में सीरियस नहीं रहने का इस बिजनेस में. I mean, you have to enjoy this business and you have to, it's a business where you have to dream. And like I said, this country is giving you that opportunity to dream. So dream, enjoy, think big, think bigger, and live it, and then do things to become big. So he just said 50,000 will be 200,000. His calculations were very simple. He just didn't say because, he felt like saying that. He said that our country will do a 12-13% nominal compounding in the economic growth. So we started talking about the India golden decade and doubling of economy, tripling of economy. Back in 2021, in the last 1 year, we have most of the global research companies coming and talking about $8 trillion and $10 trillion. We were talking about it in 2000, or he was talking about it in 2021. We have already crossed, that time we were 2 trillion economy, today we are already 4 trillion. Definitely we are going at 12% compounding towards becoming a $8 trillion economy by 2030. Now if the economy will compound at 13% nominal terms, then the earnings growth, because if the economy does well, the businesses in this country will do well. All of you are businessmen, so if this country is doing well, people will earn more, save more, and therefore invest more, and your AUMs will become big. But that applies to a car manufacturing company, that applies to a telecom company, that applies to a power company, correct? So when the economy does well, the business in the economy also will do well. If they sell well, they make more revenues, they will make more profits. So if 13% nominal growth for the economy, then bare minimum earnings growth for the, let's say the top 300, 400 companies would be about 14-15%, 1 or 2% more than the economy. Is it okay? That kind of an estimate? And then you put the compounding formula, and he just put that compounding formula, and the number was coming up to 200,000. Now, as we speak, in 2 years from the time he has made that kind of a statement, we have already entered the 70,000 to 80,000 bucket, right? It's not going to be a linear journey. In the next 7-8 years, you may have 2-3 bad years, you may have 2-3 amazing years. The year we've lived through, like 2021 was a great year, 2022 was a bad year. 2023 is a good year, maybe 2024 may be a bad year, who knows, right? We'll only get to know this time next year. When AAFM will do conference in December, either we'll be smiling and thinking about valuations to invest money, either we'll be crying that paisa nahi bana, or market girega kya valuation, or so every time we are thinking. If markets are down, we are thinking when to invest. When markets are up, we are thinking when to invest. So we have to stop thinking and we have to invest. Okay? Now, what kind of opportunity is coming up to you? So all of these things were just kind of to warm you up, and I managed to get few people inside, but still lot of chairs are empty. So certainly something has happened in around 2020. Of course, the pandemic was something which we all will remember and our kids will remember for a very, very long time. But there's another thing which people like us at least, and the investors who are participating, distributors, manufacturers, market operators, everybody will remember 2020 for one thing, because after 2020, everything changed in the way Indians are investing in equity markets, right? So we had a massive correction somewhere in March, April, to the tune of 38-40%. That lasted for about 2-3 months. And in those 2-3 months, there were some reports or some talks which were that the Nifty will become zero. The world has finished, everything is over, roads are empty, businesses are closed, everybody is at home, no business, no profits, no market. Actually, there were views that we can go down to zero, but it doesn't happen that way, right? Markets tend to surprise you. So from that 40% down, I think just after 6 months, we started making all-time highs, and ever since, we've only been making all-time highs. So we will always remember that from 2020, things changed. Investors slowly, steadily sitting at home started to look at opportunities in the market. People were doing work from home, so half-time work and half-time investing, and that's how this whole, retail penetration in direct equities, IPOs, mutual funds, SIP. In 5 years, SIP number has doubled. Just in 5 years, 6,000 crores is 17,000 crores, more than double now, right? So all my data points out here, basically, is trying to look at base of 2020, and then what is it here? So what it says is that this Indian retail equity revolution, what are the impacts and what are the possibilities, right? What is the impact because of this revolution and what could actually happen? Now I'm going to talk less and I'm going to only show you visuals, okay? You just have to focus on the numbers. I'll just try to explain the numbers to you, and you need to start to believe in that and then start to rejig your business or reorganize your business if you believe in the numbers. Okay, I'll put a disclaimer. Obviously, all these data is basically to support this topic, only for discussion purposes. Whether it happens, doesn't happen, one has to see. That's the risk you take. And another disclaimer, this presentation is not by Akhil Chaturvedi. This presentation was made by Ramdev Agarwal for one of our institution equity conference, which he was making to the foreign institution investors. But for this audience, I just thought, let me just change his name, put my name. But for the records, I have done nothing in this except for putting my name. But the data points were so good that I wanted you to see these slides, because when I saw these slides, obviously it was very, very inspirational and motivational in the way we look at our business and the industry and how we will evolve. Okay, so so we look at, let's say in the last 25 years, India is a savings economy, so a large part of our economy or GDP goes into savings, anywhere between 20 and 35%, depending on which cycle of economy we are. So in the last 25 years, India has saved a total of 12 trillion rupees, right? From 2023 to, so this is when you are looking at India at 100. When India will achieve that independence of 100 years, in the next 25 years, the total savings pool will be 103 trillion rupees. And a large part of this savings obviously will go in creating the infrastructure, building this country, and a large part of this money will also come through you. And therefore, there is a massive opportunity for capital markets, particularly with the digital reach. And the regulation is also getting very, very friendly, especially the kind of online KYC things which have been put in place to help people get themselves KYC fast and get into transactions as early as possible. So this is very, very important. You're looking at a 25 years savings pool of 102 trillion. इसके अंदर आपको जितना बटोरना है बटोर लो, right? जो आपको मिल सकता है, whatever you can take it, right? Now look at what has happened. It's all hockey stick. In fact, his last wealth creation study also is about hockey stick returns. A lot of things in the last 3 years, we have seen that hockey stick. So we look at the demat accounts between 2017 and, so 3 years before COVID, we were barely opening monthly demat accounts about 3,60,000, 3,50,000. In the last 3 years, the average monthly demat accounts which are getting opened is 2 million. From 3 lakh, it has gone up to 20 million. Total demat accounts as on 2020 were 41 million. Which was about 4 crores. Today it is about, and this is data as on July. This presentation was made in July, so these numbers would have gone up to now about 14 crores or 15 crores. But we are currently at about 14 crores demat. Where is this money going? Stock markets. Which part of the market they buy? Huh? Equity to kharidte hi hai, but which part of equity they buy? Do they buy HDFC Bank? Do they buy ITC? Huh? Options. और लॉन्ग में क्या खरीदते हैं? स्मॉल कैप में तेजी है, चिंता मत करो, ठीक है? आई होप नील इज नॉट हियर. डोंट कोट मी, नील ही इज नॉट देयर ना, ही इज लेफ्ट ना. रिकॉर्डिंग मत देना उसको. तेजी है बॉस, जोर से. ओके, नाउ आई कैन से नो मीडिया गाइज हियर. ओके, नाउ एवरेज डेली टर्नओवर रेशियो, फिनोमिनल नंबर्स. In FY20, just 3 years back, average daily turnover was just about 7 lakh crore का average daily turnover था market में. Okay? 3 में हो गया ये 61 trillion, 61 lakh crores. And July 2003, we hit 107 trillion. 100 lakh crore का turnover है. Of course, thanks to options. So the volumes are big. You can't imagine what the volumes could. So it's a hockey stick. Kind of numbers what you're seeing in the last 3 years in terms of the trades which are, this is all liquidity. 10, 15, 25 years, the biggest question mark about Indian market rally used to be liquidity, that everything can be good, but if nobody is buying, then what do you do with it? Today it's going to be reverse. You have liquid, you have demand, you have supply, both the sides are there. But what if demand exceeds supply? At some stage it may happen. So I don't know what top P multiple will happen, but Like Manish Chokhani in one of the Diwali interview, he said, is that India is a phenomenal story. A lot of money will be made by the Indian markets, but somewhere down the line, the next bubble will be made by India only. बबल हम ही बनाएंगे, बट जब बबल बन रहा होगा तब मत आना, बबल बनने के रास्ते में आना, वहां पर उस टाइम पे निकल लेना, ठीक है? So in between I use Hindi. For my South friends, I'll use bilingual language. Okay, now SIPs, all thanks to all of you and a lot of our friends which are all over the country. You've done a phenomenal job. I think SIP has become like Ghar Ghar SIP, that kind of a phenomena. This 15,000 crores was July, right? We are 17,000 crores in 4 months. I mean, next 3-4 months, there'll be some conference, we might be 20,000 crores. I don't know what is happening, right? So 15,000 crores is coming through SIP. Whether FIs come, whether markets are up, markets are down, there is a COVID, there is no... I mean, we have lived through the Ukraine war. 1 महीने का correction हुआ. We have lived through this Israel war. 2-5 दिन का ही correction हुआ. Right? In between, US has been raising rates, no correction. 15,000 crores, 16,000 crores, 2-3... They remove 1 billion, we buy 2 billion. They have removed 50 billion, we have bought 60 billion. And the penetration, I think the Anunya spoke about was some 6-7%. The equity penetration is only 4.8%. I'll give you one number. Total household assets in India is 900 lakh crores. Total household assets. Real estate, equity, gold, all put together. Out of which only 4.8% is in equities. Every percentage movement from that household asset into equity is going to be 8 lakh crores. So if we just become 6% equity penetration, we'll see 8 lakh crores inside. Mutual fund gross sales itself is 4.5, 5 lakh crores every year. We don't know these numbers. We have to see these numbers. There's something which is happening. The undercurrents are very different, right? So nothing to worry. So these are your SIP numbers. Why we have seen all these things is because, of course, simpler KYC rules. So, during COVID, you could get your KYC done online. So everything was being done online. I remember opening mutual funds. Mutual funds, of course, got digitalized way back. Still, can you imagine our NFOs going on? A lot of distributors call me from some parts and, sir, आप form नहीं भेजते हैं. Physical form नहीं भेजते हैं. One pager नहीं भेजते हैं. We are in a digital world. And we are talking about physical forms. Anyway, they will also change. Sharp recovery in the equity market. So obviously last 3 years, we have seen sustained returns, very good returns from the market. So if the returns are good, those who are investing will invest more. Those who are not investing will go through the FOMO and they will invest. And उनको देख के और आएंगे, फिर वो bubble के time पे बहुत सारे आएंगे. Right? So that will also happen. Emergence of discount brokers. Can you imagine the kind of profit Zerodha makes? I think last what I heard was about 3,000 crores. Discount broker doesn't charge any brokerage, makes 3,000 crores. We charge brokerage, been in this business for 40 years, we make 500 crores, the broking business. We make 500 crores, they make 3,000 crores. Angel One moved into, going into that discount broking model, now they make 1,600 crores of profit. तो ऐसा कैसा business होता है जिसमें commission नहीं होता फिर भी इतने पैसे बनते हैं? ठीक है, think about it. And of course, options has been, so अभी 2 दिन से हमारे ऑफिस में यही चल रहा है, लोगों को ऑप्शन सिखा रहे हैं. सारे फ्रेंचाइजीज आ रहे हैं, 2 दिन से ट्रेनिंग चल रही है, how to do options, right? Anyway, people are enjoying, so that's good. So this, all the positive regulatory changes has led to increased penetration through mutual funds, through direct equities, which is a good sign for us. How big can this be? So if you're opening 2 million accounts every month, in the next 5 years, if you just keep growing 2 million, we will have 25 crore demat accounts. I saw some number that we have 41 crore people who are Aadhaar KYC linked. Oh, sorry, PAN Aadhaar linked. So at least 41 crore तक का number तो अपना investable audience है. Right? You don't have to do any work out there. So 25 crore, today there are 15 crore people. You will have 25 crore people, actually 10 crore more people coming and buying more stocks and more options, more liquidity, which will help the market or it will not help the market. There was a time 15, 20 years back, we used to buy after FIs used to buy. We used to sell after FIs used to sell. Who used to make money? FIs. Today, we are buying and after us FIs will buy, we will sell to them. And who will make money? We will make money. So finally, we have started to believe in our country more than They believed in our country back. In fact, their ownership in our market has been going down. Our ownership in the market has been going up. Yeah, how much time? बहुत 8 ही स्लाइड पे है अभी तो. Okay, so all of these liquidity, mutual fund flows, all of these things is leading to our markets being heated up. I mean, I will not say heated up, fairly priced. So our market cap to GDP is in the range of, it ranges between 100, 120. It had gone down all the way to 60%. Definitely, we are not like cheap. But I've seen the latest data numbers for Nifty 50. We are trading at 22 times P multiple. The 10-year average is 22 times. So you can say you are at the fair value. You have not crossed the fair value. So is the mid cap. We have seen that we are fully priced. Small cap, we are still seeing some margin of safety still. I'm being bold enough, but we have our own data points, and what we are tracking is that large caps look good, small caps look okay for now. Mid caps is where one has to be a little careful if you are a short-term, medium-term investor, right? But this market cap to GDP, I mean, we just crossed $4 trillion of economy, right? You read in the paper a couple of days back. Yes or no? थोड़ा जाग जाओ, नहीं तो मैं सो जाऊंगा. We just crossed $4 trillion and our market cap also crossed. Within 3 days or 4 days, we read that the Indian market cap has also crossed $4 trillion. So that's 100% market cap to GDP. तो अगर 2030 में $10 trillion इकोनॉमी हो गई तो 100% के हिसाब से $10 trillion तो मार्केट कैप होगा. तो उतना तो बनेगा ना आपका. Don't worry. Now look at, this is the FIIs versus DI flows. FIIs have been very volatile. They are coming, they are going, they are confused. Indians are not confused. We believe in our story. We believe in our economy. We believe in the stability. We believe in the reforms, and we believe in our businesses. And we have great businesses. Because after all the reforms, after GST, one nation, one tax. ये भी टूट रहा है. One nation, one tax. Look at the GST collections. After Real Estate Regulation Act, I mean, it was the most hopeless sector to invest in, right? I mean, घर खरीदना हो तो मतलब घर आएगा नहीं आएगा, पैसे मिलेंगे नहीं मिलेंगे, nothing was there. Today you buy a RERA approved project, house is yours or money will come with interest. I was actually stuck in a project in Mulund for some 8-10 years. Fortunately, it was a RERA project. I went to the RERA court. Within 3 hearings, that bugger is giving me my money back at 11%. It was stuck for 10 years. That is the real estate boom what you're seeing. That is the real estate boom what we are seeing. Now you see the real estate. Now you have good builders, good buyers. Banking sector, mein IBC, NCLT, now these what we call as the bad promoters or chore promoters, they will not borrow to make their house and mansions and cars and all this stuff because, and eventually if they don't perform, they will lose their business. And nobody wants to lose the business. So responsible lending, responsible borrowing, banking system is cleaned, NPAs have been cleaned, balance sheets are healthy, and banks is very important to push the economy forward. Right? Banks will give money for capex, banks will give money for consumption. Right? So one after one reforms you see has only created a short-term momentarily slowdown, but in long term it is giving you all the positive benefits. Okay? Yeah, capital markets, IPOs. I think abhi bhi kuch 7-8 IPO lined up in the next 3 months, right? So just this year itself now, I think this is 2 lakh crores worth of IPOs. Most of the IPOs are large caps, mid caps, small caps. Most of the IPOs are small caps. And look at the kind of, and they're all good businesses. And they're coming at, I mean, not very, very expensive. The companies are also leaving some money for the investors, right? So this is the kind of, so this supply also will help absorb the demand. Right? So which is very, very good that promoters also coming with IPOs and you're seeing that kind of supply which is building up. Private equity, AIFs, category 1, category 2, venture capital plus private equity. Both this put together in last 10 years, 2012 is when the AIFs got born. Exactly 10, 11 years, zero category 1, category 2 AUM. Today it is 8 lakh crores of private equity plus venture capital. So a lot of capital is available for startup businesses, new businesses, plus growth capital available through the private equity. Right? So a lot of capital is now available. Debt is not the only option. कि आपको कुछ भी करना है तो आपको debt लेना है. You can give your equity and take the capital at whatever stage of business you are. It may not be that easy today in startups, but at least if you are delivering a good business model and you have some revenue, some business model, money is available to you. And this also helps government because more the transaction. more number of transactions in the market. So look at the tax collection through STT. It's a very small amount, very chillered amount when it comes to tax. But when you see this 100 lakh crores of trades every day, this is leading to 25, 30,000 crores of collection, which also will help build the country's infrastructure, right? Then, what is the impact? NSE, one of the darlings in the unlisted market, right? Everybody wants to buy NSE. NSE नहीं मिल रहा है तो BSE खरीद रहे हैं. तो BSE 3-4 गुना हो गया, right? अभी NSE में आप देखिए 2013 से 2020 में revenue growth was only 10%. This is the direct correlation of market participation and those who are giving you those services, how they are growing. And look at 20 to 23, 50% growth in revenues and 57% growth in profits. Profit बढ़ रहा है तो उसका भाव भी बढ़ रहा है, राइट? 700-800 रुपए में स्टॉक मिलता था 6-7 साल पहले, अभी 3,500 में मिलता है, अगर मिल गया तो, ठीक है? Look at other CDSL, which basically is holding all your demats. Now CDSL growing at 13% between just pre-COVID, they were growing at 10-12%, and now they are growing at 37% revenues, 37% profit growth. Direct impact. Look at Angel One, because this is a listed company, numbers are available to us. They were growing at 13%. Their business model, our business model was very similar. They had the franchisee model, research, they used to charge brokerage. They changed the business model, and look at 120% compounded growth in the profits, and see that price. Or 2 minutes. Okay, so yes, all of this is, the risk is obviously valuations. You have to keep your eye on the valuations. Be mindful of that, which part of the market is good, which part of the market is not good. Keep a tap on that. And so all of this eventually will basically help the country, help the government build their infrastructure, development, and we have a whole bunch of, at least suggested, whether it happens or doesn't happen, I don't know. But a lot of disinvestment is actually in the pipeline. This could give government almost 5 lakh crores, if at all they decide to do, right? This money which they can divest, create supply, liquidity in these stocks will also help build ports, bridges, roads, all of these things. Same thing, if you see, yeah, this is also another recommendation we keep making, is that if you decrease the minimum promoter ownership from 75% to 65%, can again free up almost 3 lakh crores of supply in the market. If you just reduce the promoter ownership by 10 percentage points. So you'll have more shares available of these great companies out here to buy and sell, right? So more liquidity means you have better value creation. And this is, again, simple thing that, how you can create infrastructure. So earlier, the source of capital used to be equity, the source of capital was debt, the source of capital was government, and then you have the revenue yielding infrastructure projects, then we have these projects which are getting sold to InvITs, and now there are a lot of category 2 funds which are available who are also buying, and then all of that money which gets freed up can further be fueled up to build new infrastructure, right? So these are all the things which are connected through the equities. Listed, unlisted, whichever space, right? So it's a great thing. I think what's happened in the last 3 years, the way we are thinking, the way all of you are doing the business, the way all of you are getting more and more investors in this, just think big. This industry which has taken donkey years to reach 50 lakh crores, Anunya was talking about 150 lakh crores, I'm telling you it will be 500 lakh crores. And if it is 50-50 equity, 50% debt, then you're looking at 200 lakh, 250 lakh. So this business you create for your kids and their kids, rather than only at your generation. That is a phenomenal space. Yes, in this space, as the country will prosper and the per capita will go up, rich are getting richer and richer are getting even richer. So this industry will no longer be confined only to mutual funds. So my one last message to all of you, especially those mutual fund distributors who are restricted only to mutual fund and they feel that everything apart from mutual fund is crap. ऐसा नहीं है. When people are having more money, they are looking at new avenues, they are looking at new opportunities, whether it is available through portfolio management services, it is available through AIFs, whether it is available through international investing, offshore investing, inbound, outbound, host of options are available, including real estate. You have to keep your eyes on the investors' need, their potential to invest, what is their risk appetite, what are the kind of things they're looking at, move beyond mutual funds, increase your product basket, get a deeper wallet share, and that will help you grow faster. Right? So with that, I'll end. Sorry about this. Thank you so much. But you made me wait for 1.5 hours, so I wanted to make you wait for some more time. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Vyas. Thank you, AFN. Thank you so much.